Welcome to today's mini yoga practice. So for this one, we're going to start standing. So just take a moment to let your feet arrive on the ground wherever they're comfortable. Let your arms come down by your sides. Soften your gaze and take a few moments just to arrive with yourself. Because in yoga, we believe that the body, the human, is made up of various different layers. So we've got the body, the physical layer. We've got the mind, the mental layer. We've also got an energetic layer. And this energy, this energetic layer, this field of energy flows through the body, and it also circulates around the body as well. You've got this energy field, your bubble of space that follows you around. And it takes a few moments for all of these parts of yourself to arrive at the same place. We tend to drag our body around with us through life. Our mind is already there, but our body takes a little while to get there. And our energy field is following quite quickly behind that as well. So take a few moments here, just get the sense of your feet touching the floor. Get the sense of your head floating up on top of the spine and the full distance between your feet going down into the earth and your head floating up into space. Let your shoulders drop down away from the ears. Broaden your hands a little, just to find the energy in the hands. And we'll start with 3 lovely big breaths. So breathing in, sense your lungs and your chest expanding. And as you breathe out, imagine you're sending some of that energy down through your bones, into the feet, into the earth. And with the next in-breath, that energy returns back up the legs, back up into the heart, filling up. And as you breathe out, returning it back down through your bones, through the feet, into the earth. Let's do that one more time, breathing in from the earth up to the heart. And breathing out down into the earth. And if you bring your hands onto your waist, around the top of the pelvis, have a little rock back and forth between heels and toes. I'm not sure if you can see my feet. They might be slightly cut off. It doesn't matter. We're just trying to lift the heels, come back down, peel up the toes. And try and get a nice quality footprint. So you can sense the underneath of the heel bones sinking deeply down. And then you roll over the balls of the toes onto the pads of the toes. Try not to splay the ankles out to the sides. Instead, think about pushing the front of the ankle joints forward. So you get a nice even roll onto the ball of the big toe as well as the ball of the little toe. And you're bringing that strength into the ankle joints, little squeeze into the calf muscles, bringing a bit of strength. And you can start to get a little bit of a rock in the pelvis as well, if that feels comfortable for you. Pelvis goes back and forward. And if you've had enough of coming up onto your toes, you can keep your heels on the floor and just do the rock of the pelvis instead. So I do appreciate some people have got quite sensitive toes. So if you've had enough, but if you're happy to keep lifting the heels, I'm getting a little bit of a hinge into the hip joints at the top of the thighs. A little stretch of the hamstrings as you take your bottom back. And of course, those hamstrings at the back of the thighs contract then as you come forward, push the hips forward. So it's a nice little balancer for the hamstrings. And the same with the hips. Open up the front of the hips, deepen back into the groins. And then you can let your arms start to flow as well. Arms reach forward and up and stroke down and back. And imagine painting with your fingertips And maybe you get a little bend in the knees if that comes naturally, a little bit of a bounce. And you can breathe. I like to breathe in as I reach up and breathe out as I push back with my hands. So I'm almost getting into a kind of skiing rhythm. I'm cross-country skiing. But the skis are really big. I have to reach up quite high to the top of the skis. Breathing, getting a little bounce. So you're working the shoulders, getting a stretch up through the spine and the ribs, almost reaching the sky and almost touching the earth. So getting that bounciness to the legs. We're going to do 2 more. Breathing in, breathing out. Lovely. And then when you're done, just return back to center and have a moment to let all those parts of yourself arrive and reintegrate. Catch your breath. Let your heart rate settle. Lovely. Excellent. And you're going to turn the palms forward, broaden the hands, and then turn the palms out slightly. Reach the arms out to the sides and up. Get that little reach, reaching down through your feet and legs and up through your ribs, the belly and the waist lengthening. And then bring the arms back out to the sides. Turn the palms down and soften into the shoulders, but really reach through your fingertips. So there's a bit of energy. You can almost sense the nerves lengthening from the shoulders through the arms into the fingertips. So that sensation of something really deep going on in the arms. And if you turn your left palm up and turn your head to look at that left palm. Keep the shoulders relaxed, grounding through the feet. The belly gently drawing back to the spine and up towards the navel a little. And then turn your left palm down, bring your head back to center and turn your right palm up. Little rotation in the neck and there's a little squeeze in the shoulders. My left shoulder is going forward, right shoulder rolling back. We're going to do 1 more each side. So as you rotate the hands, right palm down, left palm up, you can turn and look at your left palm. This time bring your right hand down onto the side of the thigh and take your left arm up. Continue reaching up with the left arm as you slide your right hand down, shortening into the right side waist and opening and lengthening the left side. Keep the fingers reaching up to the ceiling and then bring the arms back out to the sides. Switch the palms, left palm down, right palm up. As you turn your head, look at your right palm, take a breath in. Breathe out, left hand down, right arm reaches up. Take another breath in, and as you breathe out, slide the left hand down and keep reaching your right hand up to the ceiling. So we're not going overhead, instead we're lifting up. Imagine your arm starts at your lower rib. As you press down through the feet, lift up through that arm. Left side is shortening, so your left shoulder and armpit is sliding down towards the waist. Then bring the arms back out to center. Turn both palms up, breathing in. Breathe out, bring the hands to the heart. Lovely. We're going to step your right foot forward and your left foot back. And bring the hands onto the waist. And I'd like you to have a little dance back and forth between right foot and left foot. So you just lift one foot and lift the other. Keep a lightness in the heart. Keep your gaze looking forward over the horizon. So you're not relying on your eyes to look down. Your feet are using their own intelligence. There's a little dance. And you can bring your back heel towards the buttock, front knee up towards the chest. So bring a little bit more work into your knees, bending a bit more through the knees, a little bit more work for the back hamstring and the front quadriceps and hip flexors. Just a little bit more work in the legs, but again, keep the upper body light. And then you can just rest your feet down there. Again, right foot is in front, left foot behind. Rooting down through that left heel. Bring your hands onto the lower belly. Encourage the lower belly back to the spine and up towards the navel a little. Keep the tummy in and bend the right knee forward. So you're still rooting through the left heel. Your lower belly and your front hips are kind of lifting up off the top of the thigh. And then sweep the hands up the front of the body, up to the ceiling. The ribs are lifting. And then take your arms out to the sides in that T-shape. Palms are up. Take a breath in and breathe out. Bring your hands onto your right thigh. Looking down to your right foot, you can slide your hands all the way down the leg as slow as you can. Bowing down over the right leg, looking back towards your left foot. And then to come up, bend the right knee, drawing the tummy, slide your hand back up that right thigh. Up the front of the body, reaching up, breathing in. We're going to do that 2 more times. Breathe out, reach the arms out to the sides. Bring the hands onto the thigh, drawing the belly. Slide the hands down. Bowing over the right leg, looking back to your left foot. 1 more. Bend the right knee, root through the feet, slide the hand back up that right leg, up the front of the body. Take a breath in. Breathe out, sweep the arms, draw back the belly, slide the hands down the thigh. And then this time you can just keep your fingertips on the floor, just either side of your right toes. As you look back towards your left foot, maybe give your hips a little sway. I'd like you to just loosen up into the top of that right thigh. Getting a bit of space as you kind of lift the top, or lift the right hip sort of off the top of the thigh. Getting a bit of space as you just sway your hips from side to side. And then as you bend the right knee, drawing the belly, slide your hands back up that right leg. Reaching up. Keep reaching up. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Bend the right knee. We're going to come into our warrior 3. So as you reach forward with your heart, lift your left leg, but keep reaching up with your hands, with your heart. So you're lifting rather than reaching too far forward. You're lifting. Your back leg is lifting. You can continue to lift your back leg as high as is comfortable for you. But I want you to keep your heart looking forward, your hands reaching up. So you're using your left hamstrings, your left buttock muscle to lift that back leg. And then return the foot back to where it was. Landing, bring your arms down and settle. Step the left foot forward. And just notice how that feels in your right leg and hip compared to your left leg and hip. Do the same on the other side. So you can face whichever way you want. I'm going to turn the other way just because it's better for the camera, but it's completely up to you. Left foot forward, right foot back. And have that little dance between your feet. And let your feet be as light as dust. Again, your heart is buoyant. You're gazing forward over the horizon. And again, it is about the lift. How light can you be as you transfer from one foot to the other? There's a slight bounce, a buoyancy. And then we're going to bring the back heel to the buttock and the front knee up to the chest. Keeping it nice and light on your feet. A little smile behind the eyes always helps just to take the seriousness out of the movement. As you can see, I'm not perfect here. I'm a little bit wobbly as I'm speaking, and that's perfectly fine. Just a little smile. Just keeps it a little bit lighter. Nothing serious. All you're doing is moving. Lovely. And then you can settle your feet back into the floor. So the feet just land comfortably, and again, the energy settles. Take a moment there. As you root through that right heel, you can bend your left knee forward. So your thighs are sort of working away from each other. Your right thigh reaching back, your left thigh reaching forward. Bring your hands onto your belly. Encourage the belly back to the spine, up to the navel. So there's a lift of the front hips. Sweeping the hands up the front of the body. Ribs continue to lift and grow, breathing in. Breathe out, sweep the arms out to the sides. Bring the hands onto the left thigh. I'm going to slide down, gazing back to your right foot. Root through the feet, bend the knees a little, drawing the tummy, slide the hands back up the left thigh. All the way up the front of the body, that lovely reach up, breathing in with a smile. Breathe out, sweep the arms out to the sides. 2 more, slide the hands down. So if you go as slow as you can, there's a lot more work for your legs and your feet. Again, keep a little smile. Breathing in, root through the feet, slide the hands up, slow and steady. Much more challenging if you go slow and steady, breathing in, breathing out, sweep the arms. And sliding down. This time we're going to stay down, laying over that left leg. Fingertips just lightly touching the floor, somewhere under the shoulders. Ease out the neck, ease out the shoulders, get rid of any unnecessary tension. And then give your hips a little sway, swaying your hips from side to side. So you probably feel this in your left leg, maybe the hamstrings, the inner thigh, as you draw in the belly and try and lift the hips off the top of the thighs. So you're getting a bit of space where the top of that left thigh bone sits in the hip socket. Just getting a bit of space, just loosening up, lengthening, finding the distance between your left foot and your left hip. And then bend the left knee, root through the legs and feet, draw in the tummy, slide the hands all the way back up. Take a breath in with a smile. Keep reaching up, breathe out, just relax the shoulders. So again, you're keeping that lift like a zip. Navel, pubic bone, navel, heart. Keep that lift. And as you lean forward slightly into that left foot, you can lift your back heel. Maybe you stay on the tips of the toes and just continue lifting. Maybe the foot can lift. And you just carry on lifting higher and higher. So your hips are coming up off the top of that left thigh. Your right leg is lifting. You might feel your right buttock muscle and the hamstrings engaging. Your back muscles are working to keep that lift, lifting and flying. And then take the right foot back down and take the arms out to the sides and settle. And please step your right foot forward, and again have a moment just to let everything arrive. Lovely. You're going to come down to sitting just to end the sequence. Again, reach your arms out to the sides and up. A lovely smile as you reach up. This time, bring your hands into a prayer down through the midline as you bend your knees deep and back into your groins. Bow the head, fingers to floor. Again, ease out your neck, maybe turn your head more. Ease out your shoulders, give your shoulders a little wiggle. Maybe your hips have a little sway just to ease out the back of the legs. And then if you lift the heels, bend the knees, come down through a low squat. Come down onto your bottom. Or you might decide to come down onto your back if you want to. We're going to end the practice here. So have a moment to land on the floor, either sitting or laying down. Rest your eyes and take a moment just to experience all the parts of yourself returning and arriving. The physical body, bones, skin, muscles. That lighter energy field settling down through your shoulders, all the way down into your groins and your sit bones. And enjoy 3 lovely breaths here, or maybe more. And I will leave you here for today with my deepest gratitude for taking the time to practice. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. See you next time, my friends.